inside the school, and they start demanding that police go in, and they don't. And they say this is video of that.
The President is the chief executive officer of this corporation called the United States of America. The President is the chief executive officer of this corporation called the United States.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I want to welcome you to the Black News Network. This is from the desk of the Emissary. Here we address the business of Black culture. This is the real voice of Military City, USA, broadcasting Black culture, Black law, Black money, and Black more. Come back to where you belong, connecting with Black history all year long. They tell us that February is Black History Month. However, every single thing you can think of is being talked about during Black History Month. I've seen more shit on Hispanic culture and white superstars and the rodeo than I've seen on Black History Month. We should have a more footprint and a more presence of how we market ourselves during this particular month. There should not be a day going by where we don't trump every single channel here in this city and in this metroplex. We need to be known, and we need to put our foot down and say that this is our month, even though it's a short damn month. I don't give a damn about the length of it, because we celebrate Black history all year long. Again, welcome you to the Black News Network. I'm Walt Smith, the President and CEO of BNN, and I'd like to welcome you back for another episode of What We Do, talk about Black cultures and Black affairs. First of all, there are those who know, and there are those we know, and there are those that we don't know. There are many of us who suffered at the end of a rope. There are many of us who suffered at the end of a gun. There are many of us who suffered at the end of a beating. There are many of us who suffered at the end of a taser. You know, will the end be knocking on my door next? And when I say my door, I'm talking about your door too. Will the end be knocking on one of our doors, on somebody close to us, somebody that we know? And then we'll be ready to take a stand about what's going on here in America. I just read the other day in the United States Constitution that a descendant of a slave will never be a United States citizen. Now, this is written into the Constitution. And when I read that, I was really, really shocked that this is what America has done with our culture. First of all, they want to strip us of our name, which they did that. without any problems. Kunta Kinte was the one who brought the reality of what they did when they brought slavery to America and how they stripped us of our religion, our heritage, our name, our culture, and every damn thing else that had to do with where we came from. If we wanted to maintain our culture, we had to do it in a way where nobody would know that we were practicing our blackness. That's what we did. Will the end be knocking at my door, or will the end be knocking at your door? The bottom line is, we don't have that much time left on this earth. Our lifespan is very short, and many of our lifespans have been brought extremely short due to other people not wanting us to be as powerful and as successful as we have been. We can start with Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, the Black Panthers, Emmett Till, the 4 girls in Georgia, namely Annie Collins, Carol McNair, Carol Robertson, and Cynthia Wesley. And you should know who those 4 girls are. They suffered in the bombing. And now all of you who like to pop bombs on New Year, and you say, well, let me go get some cherry bomb. You know, Cherry is the name of the guy who set that bomb in Ebenezer Baptist Church. That's his last name, Cherry. And that's how the term cherry bombs got popular. And we as black people go around talking about, man, I'm going to grab me some cherry bombs and some of this and some of that, doing for New Year's and for 4th of July. But we don't realize that we're basically perpetuating the killer of 4 innocent girls. Hundreds of others have died at the hands of people trying to keep us down. They are not going to stop us from getting where we need to go. You know, if you go back in history and look at how the government embedded people to stop our progress into the systems that existed for us, you'd be surprised. I mean, it goes all the way back to local governments, state governments, federal governments. Did you know Phil Bryant was the governor of Mississippi, and he was the uncle of the Bryant guy who killed Emmett Till? And Mississippi right now is going through a crisis that you wouldn't believe. They have enacted or put a bill on the floor that will make it illegal for black officers to arrest white people. It would make it illegal for white people to go to a court with a black judge. This law is on the floor right now, getting ready to be passed in the state of Mississippi. And they still have water problems there, by the way. It ain't done. They lied like they had fixed the damn problem. That's bullshit if I ever heard it. Mississippi is lying. It seems like every time there's a crisis, our entire country seems to look the other way when it's happening here in America, but when it's happening in places like Ukraine, they throw billions of dollars at it to get it fixed, and then pledge to throw billions more with unlimited attacks or unlimited support to Ukraine to fight Russia. And then you got the audacity to stand up there and say, well, there will be consequences if you provide, if she's saying this to China, if you provide support to Russia to fight Ukraine. But here you are pumping billions of dollars into Ukraine, and now you're telling China it's going to be consequences. Consequences? Who the hell? I don't understand it sometimes when this country steps out and talks all this shit, and then they turn around and do the exact opposite of what they talking about. You know, how you gonna tell China what to do? How you gonna tell anybody what to do, and you can't take care of your own damn kitchen? It's dirty over here. Cops are killing black people all the time. There was another black man killed in New Orleans about 3 days ago. I think it was Thursday or Friday night. He jumped off the balcony, ran. The cop went down the stairs, came back around, and within 2 seconds, pow! He shot that man, and the man had his hands up, and he shot him and killed him. And this time he did have his camera on. And now they got his lawyer on TV trying to act like, well, it's a danger for a police officer anyway, so he has to protect himself. He only has a second to make that decision. If you're a damn chicken, get the hell out of the damn job, because your gun ain't the last damn result every time you encounter a black person. Because that's what it seems like. Anytime a black person stands up, runs, does anything, even though, yeah, the black man did some stupid shit by running, but the fact of the matter is that wasn't a death sentence. He didn't have to be tried and convicted and executed at the same damn minute. That's the kind of shit we have to deal with. These people are embedded in our law systems. They're embedded everywhere. And then here in San Antonio, whatever that chief name, McManus, got the audacity to be holding town hall. But guess where the town hall are at? Over in damn Stone Oak some damn where the damn people ain't got shit to do with what's really going on in San Antonio crime scene. But when it comes to dealing with little bitty issues where cops kill kids or cops bust into somebody's house without a warrant, they act like they don't see that shit. All this shit going on, and police captains act like they don't know what's going on. But they gonna protect their officers. I don't give a damn what the officers do. And then every now and again, they gonna pick up one and arrest him because he was drunk driving. But then you don't hear shit else about it because they done threw that shit out too and put him on another police force or another task force or even a desk job. We are now what we were back then. There's no way you can separate yourself from what your ancestors used to be. And that's what I find most black people, I ain't gonna say most, but lots of black people trying to do this day and time. Separate themselves from the lineage of what our ancestors did for us to be in the positions we're in today. You cannot be where you are if your ancestors didn't persevere when times were hard. They didn't get up one more time than they got knocked down. You got the benefits of all that, and you're too damn stuck up thinking you made it on your damn own to step back and look at some of the things that are going on in your culture. Even they give you the damn Juneteenth and Black History Month, and you don't hear shit up on the news or anywhere else about Black History Month. You hear little bitty shit, but you hear the little bitty shit, and then you hear a lot of shit on other things that ain't got shit to do with Black History Month. Why is it that the rodeo get more support from the city of San Antonio than the whole Black History Month? You think just because you give $50,000 to the Martin Luther King Commission for the march, you've done something? You ain't done shit. There are no vocational training arenas that black people can take advantage in San Antonio. 60% of our graduates, listen, 60% of graduates from our high school in Bexar County are at home right now. They don't have a job right now. They don't have a skill right now. They're still living on their parents right now. And they're doing this because Our education systems have failed them. If you attend school every day, you're going to graduate because they're going to pass you anyway, whether you know any damn thing or not. Their goal is to move you through the system. And first of all, think about what the school system is. There's 1,000 school districts here in the state of Texas. With all these damn school districts, every one of them got their own doctrine. They let these kids come in and do dirty shit and just go in and get uneducated for the whole damn 12 years. And if you go through school for 12 years plus one, which is kindergarten or whatever you want to call that, and you come out of high school and you don't see the racist shit that the school system does and the rest of the city does on top of that, then you're an idiot. Because they are not educating our children. They are processing our children like cows through a slaughterhouse. Because they're coming out of that high school just as dumb as they were when they went in there. Thinking that they cool, just because you got your high school diploma, you the shit, but you ain't learned a damn thing. You can't damn drive a nail in a piece of wood. You can't change a flat tire on a car. You don't even know how to check the oil on a car. Don't make no damn sense. And kids nowadays, they're not getting no damn driver's license. Half of the kids coming out of high school can't drive. Nobody's taking the time to give these kids the attention they need to be productive in our communities today. That's why they have to leave. They have to leave Texas, and in other states, they have to leave where they are. And because if they stay where they are, where they grew up at and where their roots are, then they will be a bum on the damn street. And I'm not saying this for everybody. It ain't 100%, but most of the kids that don't go somewhere and find their own damn way, then they're going to be at home sucking off their parents. And if you spoil your kids, you're going to be raising your grandkids. That's what it boils down to. So most of you grandparents out there right now, raising your grandkids, you're doing it because you screwed up raising your kids. You spoiled your kids, and now you got to raise your grandkids because you ain't taught your kids shit, and they don't know how to get out there and raise their own damn children. That's why they're at your house right now. That is why they are at your house. That is why they're eating your food, messing up your phone and your car insurance and everything else because you, as a parent, didn't spend the time necessary to raise that child. You spoiled them by giving them shit, giving them a cell phone, giving them this, giving them that, giving them money, go to the mall, dropping them off at other folks' house all the time. But you ain't teaching them shit. How many of your kids know how to unstop a toilet? Know how to wire a socket? There's a shortage right now of thousands of people when it comes to HVAC, air conditioned systems. There's a shortage in the state of Texas. We are short of HVAC operators, which is AC, air conditioning. We're short when it comes to plumbers. The only plumber that I know right now is Otto. A guy on the east side, he's 80-some damn years old, and he's still doing plumbing because there is no apprenticeships coming up under him learning the trade. Welding, there's a shortage in welding. There's a shortage in electricians. And black kids have opportunities to get this stuff. Now, if you don't know, at the end of U.S.A. Drive, right off of W.W. White Road, there is a vocational school there. But do you think they market in that school so black people know that they can go to that school? I go over there probably once every other month, and I have yet to see a black child going to that school. What the hell? What is wrong? Why are black kids not knowing about these opportunities and taking advantage of these opportunities? because the parents ain't taking the time to tell them, oh, you're not driving them to school every day, but the bus run by there 10 times a day. You're not driving them to school. Is that what the problem is? Again, you spoil your kid, you're raising your grandkids. We have seen our sons and daughters taken by the police. You know, I'm not saying that they're not killing other folks and shooting other folks and arresting other folks. I'm saying it is so prevalent that these things are happening to black people throughout life. And it ain't never stopped and it ain't never changed. It's still happening. We have to do something about that. There's no way black kids can be getting killed every week and we think it's normal. It ain't stopped. The Klan did their thing and they started all this momentum of violence against black. The Jim Crow laws kept it going, and we are allowing it to perpetuate. So is the federal government allowing it to perpetuate. When Asians started getting their ass kicked, they come out with a law real quick. Black people been getting their ass kicked forever by the police, and the federal government ain't did shit. The George Floyd law is still pending, even after Kyrie Nichols up in Memphis. Still, it's still pending. Why? Because all these white folks up in there running our country in the damn dirt. And I'll say that again. All these white folks up there in Washington running our country in the damn dirt, pursuing bullshit that we have no need. We don't give a damn about Hunter Biden's laptop. Why are you worried about that shit? You done shot down the balloons, and now that's all you want to talk about is shooting down balloons? You know, how do you let a balloon get that far into the infrastructure of the United States any damn way? So the bullshit needs to stop. You misdirecting the American people on all this stuff that ain't got shit to do with what's happening in our homes, in our cities, in our local governments. It's just so much corruption and so much misdirection that we have to come to terms with what is actually happening right outside our door. And if we don't fix the local scene, it ain't never gonna get fixed. We don't fix the local politicians, it ain't never gonna get fixed. The deadline for signing up for District 2 was ended, Friday the 17th. So now let's look at the field. We have Martine Diop. We have Patrick Jones. We have the incumbent. I don't even know his name. He's sitting there still. He's running again. What are we going to do about that position? Is Martine Diop going to do a good job? Is Patrick Jones going to do a good job? Well, we're going to find out soon because they're going to play some dirty pool in this election. Some dirty laundry going to get aired. And we're going to see how we're going to deal with what's happening with District 2. This is the Black News Network, and this is Black History Month, where we talk about everybody's history except black people. This is Black History Month, where we promote the rodeo with more money and more advertisement than we do anything black in San Antonio. This is Black History Month, where most black events are not advertised or quiet. Nobody wants to know about what's going on in the black culture. More especially black people. Because black people are the ones who are responsible for what goes on in the black culture. And why is it that every damn time you turn around, it's about entertainment? Oh, what artist is coming to town? What band we got to listen to? Why can't it be what scholar is coming to town? Who are we going to meet at the library? And just to put this out there, I noticed that there's going to be a book, a Black Author seminar at the Carver Library, and I was told that they are packed up, that there ain't no more room for a single author, another author to get on board. Ain't that some shit? Why is it that there's not room for everyone in a bullshit black event? You know, if you own a black event to promote blackness, then don't close your door to black artists, or black authors, or black entertainers, or black whomever. If they want to perform or be a part of your organization or your group or your event, then you need to make room. Common damn sense will tell you to make room. You don't have enough people to do shit anyway, so why won't you make room? It's just logic to me that there's no way you should turn down people willing to help resolve certain situations. Everybody's History Month is Black History Month. There's an Ohio train derailment, and they thought it was a toxic, well, a lot of chemicals was on that train. Now, how do you figure anytime you have a train wreck, it's got chemicals on board some damn where? You don't have a train wreck with just lumber or furniture or cars. You always got a train wreck with chemicals on it. Somebody tripping them damn trains. But every other train that went down that track and ain't had no damn wreck. America is lying to the people. And it starts at the government level. It starts at the government level. Once the government stop lying to people, then maybe we can get somewhere. It starts at the school system. Once the school system really starts to educate people, then maybe we can get somewhere. It starts at the city services department. We have to offer these services because we don't have opportunities for people to get out into society and do the things that would make them productive. You're creating a whole genre, a whole race, a whole city of people that are not doing any damn thing but twiddling their thumbs, texting some damn body, and wrecking cars. That's what you're creating. You're creating situations where nothing is working the way it should work here in America. That is why we're in the situation we're in, is because nobody wants to work the system the right way. They want to work the system so it benefits them. As long as you're lining my pocket, I don't give a damn. And that's basically what you hear and what you see. The very people that's supposed to be out here helping us get situations straight are the very people getting their pockets lined and not saying a damn thing in support of what needs to happen in this city. But yet we can provide billions of dollars to Ukraine. We can tell China, you can't give Russia shit. We want you to do as I say and not as I do, and then we'll be fine. But America don't want a new Cold War, but yet you're throwing threats at other countries like you the shit, and like they got to do what you say, or they gonna be in a world of hurt. Ain't that some shit? That Texas workforce gap that I was talking about, 60% of high school graduates are still sitting dormant because there is no opportunity for them. There is no jobs for them. They don't want to go to college, and they sick and tired of being sick and tired of being put in McDonald's, Hardee's, Burger King, Church's Fried Chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken. They're getting tired of that shit. Who wants to work there as a career? Everybody don't need a career like that. HEB can't hire everybody, even though HEB is a great place to work, from what I understand. There's a shortage in all these areas that I mentioned earlier. HVAC, welding, painters, quite a few different shortages. And if we don't start to get our kids back into vocational school, there should be at least an entire high school here in this city where you can elect, if you think you may not want to go to college, you can go to that vocational school and learn a trade. Why is it that the city ain't that smart that they won't have one? Because they want to create dumbasses and put them out there on the street so the police can keep a job. You don't give people opportunities and training and education to perpetuate them, then you're going to perpetuate their ass back up in Bexar County sitting in jail. And now you got a jail down there where if somebody's dying damn near every other week because it's overfull. You created these monsters and now you want to lock them up, and now you don't know what the problem is. The problem is you're not taking care of situations on the front end. Educate these people, give them a choice other than just going to high school, being there every day, and coming out with a high school diploma and not knowing shit. That's what we end up with. Thousands of kids right now don't have a skill, don't want to go to college, and ain't gonna go to college, and ain't going to vocational school because it's too much more of their time when they could have did the last 4 years of school learning something that they like. There are people that like being plumbers, people that like being electricians, people that like being an aircraft mechanic. Why don't we have vocational schools in this damn city? I'm really upset about that, and I think that somebody ought to get off their damn hands and do something about the education system and put some vocational schools in here and make them available to these inner city kids. You want to fix the crime problem? Fix the training problem. Educate the kids. Stop allowing them to graduate with no skill set. That's what we're doing with. Here in Texas, there's an entire school that's trying to make all the kids identify as transgender. The school is being sued now by parents. This is a school board. Remember I said 1,400 school, independent school systems doing what the hell they want? Now some of them are getting sued for doing what the hell they want. But yet, 2 years ago, you saw them raising hell about taking all the books out of school because they didn't want the white kids to feel sad that their ancestors killed people. Yes, they did. Your ancestors killed people, black people, for that particular matter. You created entire organizations to kill people, to keep people scared, keep people locked in their homes. And then you portrayed it as if it was a beautiful thing. You allowed people to take our children, murder our children, go to court, go through the system, and walk away. You still got that Bryant lady sitting on her fat ass out there, not in jail. And we know that she lied and caused Emmett Till to get beat to death. Tiger Woods, back on the scene. He's back playing golf. There was a 13-year-old kid named Stephen Ramos. I don't know if Stephen Ramos is the kid or the officer. I think he's the officer. He killed a 13-year-old boy, and he got acquitted. No charges went to the officer. There's no way you should allow an officer to stay on the police force for killing a kid when there were other alternatives that could have happened. I was saying about that criminology, that UTSA criminology stuff. Chief McManus trying to figure out how to trim crime. He said, "Oh, I don't know how to fix this crime scene. It's so damn bad." You're a goddamn lie. You know how to fix it. You know how to fix it, but you don't want it fixed because you're going to lose some of your budget if you do. So you make it worse so they can increase your budget so you can increase your pay. Anytime you quit a job and then so they bring you back and put you in the same job, but probably double your pay, that's politics. McManus, it's time for him to go because he ain't doing shit. Shit ain't no better. You bring in all these new officers, all these new tactics, all this new equipment, all these new vehicles, but your crime rate still goes up. You're putting new churches on every corner, but your crime rate still goes up. You're implementing all these nonprofit organizations, but your crime rate still goes up. What in the hell is happening here? All of these people out here claiming that they're doing shit ain't doing shit. That is the problem. Everybody get an F, especially the SAPD gets an F minus. They even got something that don't make more sense to me. This baby Moses law, where a baby can be up to 6 months old, or is it 60 days old, 6 something, but you can drop a baby off in this little boot and walk away with no responsibilities whatsoever. How can you allow a parent to drop a child off and give her and just say, I don't want that child no more, and go on about their damn business, and the city take responsibility for that child? Won't the city take responsibility for all the child support all these black men owe when anybody else may owe? This is again Black History Month, everybody's Black History Month. I see more Latino movies being shown, The Last Dance, all that bullshit. Art exhibits from the Latino community in San Antonio. They talking about President's Day in Black History Month. They got the rodeo going during Black History Month. High school athletes being recognized. They ain't black. They're not black. On February 3rd, Alonzo Bagel was killed by the police. You haven't heard very much about that one, and I haven't either. So I don't know what they're going to do about it. Something I talked about last week, somebody asked me to bring it back, and I'm going to tell you about it again. It was about what happened when somebody passed away. The first thing you have to do is call the coroner, who in the funeral home, who will come in and remove the body from the premises. And the body will go to that funeral home. Then within a few days, you have to go down to the funeral home and have a conference with the funeral director. And while you're sitting there going through everything that needs to happen with your deceased relative, that funeral home is looking at an opportunity. All they see is dollar signs. First of all, they're going to sell you a $5,000 coffin that you can get for $1,200 if you bought the coffin off of Amazon, you can buy a coffin any damn where. But when you buy it from the funeral home, it's gonna run you at least $3,000 to $10,000. It's gonna cost you a lot more than it would cost you if you went out and bought it yourself. Then they're gonna say, well, you can do embalming, which is another $1,000, $200, another $2,000. You can have a vault, which is another $2,000. And then you decide on all this stuff while you're under emotional stress because you just lost your relative. And you don't want to send your relative out thinking that you put them in a cardboard box. But that's what that funeral director is going to do, is make you feel like this is what you got to do. You should have a vault, which makes the body preserved and no dirt touches the casket. Then you put the casket in the vault, and then you put the vault with a 500-pound lid on it. So here you are, you got a deceased person. They've been embalmed for preservation. That's a cost. They've been placed into a casket. That's the cost. Then they have to do the display, which is the wake, where everybody comes into pay their last respects before the funeral. And then you all this is being done by the funeral home, by the way. And you either do the wake at the funeral home, you can either do the wake at the church. But then when you go to the church, the pastor got his hand out too. So he wants an envelope with money in it. So, and based on what you put in that envelope is how he will preach the eulogy. That is the determination. How much money is in that envelope determines what type of eulogy you get. Ain't that shame? That is shame, shame, shame. So right now, by the time you get to the actual funeral, you've spent over 10 grand trying to lay your deceased relative to rest. You got to pay for it. Why do you need to be picked up by a limo because you're having a funeral? What's the limo for? So everybody can ride together. You can ride together in my car or your car. So you get the limo, and then the funeral home will tell you, well, you may need two because you want to make sure your pallbearers get there. So you're gonna say, well, give me two. Then everybody and their mama gonna buy some flowers. So now you're gonna make the flower shop rich. A lot of people gonna get flowers from the funeral home too, and those flowers are symbols and tokens of friendship and brotherly love and sisterly love. However, it's a racket because at the end of the day, these flowers are placed at the gravesite as long as you're present. As soon as your present is gone, guess what? Those flowers are gone. If you ride out the Melon right now, go look in the dumpster, you'll see a dumpster full of damn flowers. Shit you done bought. So that's the cycle of that stuff that goes right into the damn trash can that you done spent your money on because you wants to pay your respect. Which is nothing wrong with that now, don't get me wrong. All right, so you've completed the funeral process. Now it's time for the repast. Normally, every family will bring dishes to a repast. But we've gotten so commercialized now that somebody that's akin to the person that's deceased will cater the event. So they go and buy all this damn food, display all this food, and everybody comes in, want to eat up the damn food and take plates home. But they ain't leaving a dime or a dollar in a bucket to help pay for the cost of that burying your loved one. So they come in, they eat up your food, drink up your liquor if you got some, then they go home. Then next Monday morning roll around, back to normal. Man, I sure knew last time I saw him. You're going to hear all that all damn day, especially if everybody know him. Last time I saw him, we were doing this. Last time I saw her, we did that. All damn day long, you're going to hear it. But yet, you still got to grieve. America don't give you time to grieve on your loved ones. You got to go back to work. And if you're not back at work punching that clock on Monday, you got probably a couple more days before you get fired. They don't give a damn about you losing nobody, and they don't give a damn about your loss. Then you want to do a memorial at somebody's place or business to this person because this person worked here for 25 years. Let's do a memorial. Now there's a rotation of people. What the hell's going to happen with the memorial? Yeah, it's going to go off to the wayside. People are going to stop taking care of it. Before you know it, it is forgotten. It's forgotten. Then you're going to go back to the gravesite to put flowers out there, and then the next thing you know, it's forgotten. As you put them flowers out there, somebody come to the grave next to yours, they'll take your flowers off your grave and put it on theirs. That's how low down people are these days. If people can forget about you so easily, they can forget about your loved ones so easily. Why is it that we spend our days and our time worrying about what other people think? When people can forget us just like that. We spend our days and our time worrying about what other people think. Back when the education systems got started, education is a word that derives from umology, E-D-U-M-O-L-O-G-Y. However you pronounce that, that's where it came from. The United States, some of the rich people like the Rockefellers, they created the board of the General Education Board. And they wanted to create a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. So they designed the Board of Education to educate you how to be a worker, not how to be a thinker. So the purpose of school is not to teach you how to use your brain. It is to pull you into a routine that's equivalent to working in a factory or a plant. Now, plant is a derivative of the word plantation. All of this stuff ties back around into what is happening with our people, and we don't even know it. We are being indoctrinated into things that just screw us up from day one. We go to work in a plant, which is a plantation. We got an overseer, which is our supervisor. We got a master, which is our manager. They put $30 billion into the education system to get it worked out. J.D. Rockefeller was one of them. And if you haven't heard of the King Alfred plan, then you should look it up, because it talks about how they are educating people to be workers and not thinkers. You have to know who the master is. Back to Black History Month, everybody's month. Did you know Lyndon B. Johnson was president during a lot of things that happened negatively in the United States of America? Let's start with John F. Kennedy being assassinated. Who was the vice president when that happened? They say Lee Harvey Oswald did it, but there was never inconclusive proof that he was up in that suppository and that he shot the shot. This is where the grassy knoll come into play, where other people have testified that they heard shots from the grassy knoll. He was also president when Martin Luther King was killed. This is some of the stuff that when I say that the government covers up so much shit, it is not real. It ain't real. When you watch some of the conspiracy theories and the stuff that they say has happened in this country, the stuff that you know has happened in this country, we cannot forget how they did black people, or how they do black people in America. When the Constitution says that you will never be a citizen. It is written in the Constitution that you will never be a citizen. You know, LeBron James scored 38,387 points to outdo Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You know, that was a big, significant accomplishment for somebody black. He's the only black athlete that I know who has been a black activist and not been suspended, relieved, fired. He's still doing it, and he's still getting away with it. Why is it that all these other ones, Kaepernick got caught up, Kyrie Irving got caught up over dumb shit, being anti-Semitic? But basically, we know who the Jews are. The Jews are us. We're descendants of the Canaanite people, and from the Moabites. I'm sorry, we're descendants of the Moabites. And if we're descendants of the Moabites are the ones who were they were depicted about let my people go from Egypt. We're descendants of those people, and who you were then, you are now. You cannot not be who you were then. Your lineage is to where you are now. Your bloodline still exists. Can you imagine how many slaves were killed or maimed or castrated and made not to exist and perpetuate themselves into this day and time? So for you to be here as a black person, you got to realize how lucky and how beneficial, how this benefits you to be black in America. You have sustained the endurance. You've been shot. You've been hung. You've been castrated. You've been decapitated. You've been beat. You've been raped. You've been buck broke. You've been everything been done to you, and you are still here. So why are you acting as if you don't belong where you are? You gotta say that you belong where you are. You gotta call your nationality for who you are. And you are not African American. You're not black. You're not colored. You're not a Negro. And you damn sure ain't no nigga. We gotta get to the point where we realize the value of who we are, and we gotta recognize who we are, because we are way beyond what we think we are, or what we have been led to believe that we are. They have lied to us to an extent where we don't know who the hell we are. They've written constitutions and laws that say we are nobody. But in actuality, we are everybody. Think about it. We are everybody. Without us, there would be nobody. Without us, there would be nobody. And if you don't believe that black people were in this country before anybody else, go look at a map called Pangea. P-A-N-G-E-A. Pangea will show you how the United States was part of Africa thousands of years ago before it separated, before the continents separated. Look it up, Pangea, to see that you were here all along. Many of us were here all along. There were free black people in America before slavery got started. Want to know what happened? Look at 12 years of slavery. You'll see how they captured black people that had been free their entire life, and they put them into slavery. And nobody did a damn thing about it. For America to sit back and know the atrocities that it has caused our people, the trauma that it has caused our people, and not do a damn thing about it, that tells me they don't give a shit about you knowing the truth. They don't want you to know the truth. And as long as you play this game, like being that nigger, being a Negro, being colored, being an African American, being a black, then you are going to be kept in the dark. We are trying to bring you from the darkness to the light so you can see who you really are. You're not that nigga on the corner. You are a Moabite. There's more to it, but I don't want to give it all up right now. There were 10 things that the Black Panthers established that they wanted black people to learn in America. Now, this is the Black News Network, and I say this is the Black News Network because that is what we understand, that we're black, that we're African American. In reality, though, we're not black and we're not African American. But because this is what the majority of us believe, then let's run with it. But sooner or later, you're going to have to figure out what your nationality is, because until you do, you will not be a citizen in this country. Because it tells you that in the Constitution, that a descendant of a slave cannot be a citizen in the United States of America. Cannot be a citizen. And in black and white, it says that. And if you don't know, ask somebody. If you don't know, read the Constitution. You'll see it. And nobody's in there trying to change it. Ain't nobody saying shit. They letting that shit just glide like a tidal wave, keeping you in the dark. I'm going to just run through this list. The Black Panther wanted us to have the power to control our own destiny. And the very reason they put that first is because the United States Constitution got you effed up. They got you not knowing who you are. Learn who you are. Learn your history. Learn your descendancy. Learn where you came from. Know that you're not that Negro. In the United States Constitution, they only list you as a Negro and a color person. Ain't nowhere black or African American is written. And then you see all these so-called Negroes on TV talking about welcome to Black History Month or African American History Month. Which one is it? Neither one, because they neither one a nationality. You go in a room full of people identifying who they are, and they ask you, who are you? Well, I'm a Black American. What the hell is a Black American? I'm an African American. What the hell is an African American? It's listed nowhere. No country will give you the respect of who you are until you know your nationality. And you're not an American because you don't know who you are. Number 2, the full ability to own businesses and gainful employment. We're not going to get our businesses and gainful employment because we don't have access to the capital that they do. Look at all the new businesses that pop up all over the country, all over America. None of these new businesses popping up, these new chains of businesses pop up, are owned by black people. Don't no black people own Church's Chicken. Don't no black people own Popeye's Chicken. Pop Yes. Don't no black people own Pop Yes Chicken. You read, do the letters and you'll see why I say Pop Yes. Nobody owns, black people own franchises of McDonald's, but nobody owns the corporation of McDonald's. No black people. No black people own Apple iPhone. No black people own Google. No black people own Walmart. No black people own HEB. No black people own Olive Garden. No black people own Applebee's. No black people own Ford. No black people own Chrysler. I could just go down the line and name 1,000 different things that black people don't own. And I'll struggle to name one black chain of things that black people own. And if you know some, shoot me a text. Tell me. Number 3, remove foreign businesses from our neighborhoods and our communities. Every black marginalized community, impoverished community, have a Chinese store or an air quick stop. That's what they got. And every one of those stores prey on black money. They have made their families rich on black money. Don't no black man own Gucci. Don't no black man own Coach's purses. Don't no black man own Nike or Air Jordans. Just because they Air Jordan, he don't own that shit. Stop buying all this bullshit that don't equate to nothing but making these people richer. And they prey on what black people like. Stop buying that shit. Spend all your damn money on shit that ain't got shit to do with your welfare or your children's welfare or the economy. Remove these foreign businesses out your neighborhood. We should have the right to fair housing. We should have our own neighborhoods. Every damn where we built a community, the white man tore it down. And that's just plain and damn simple. Everywhere. Look at every interstate, every major interstate you see going across America, cut right through major metropolitan black areas. New Orleans, Chicago, New York, everywhere. LA, Compton, everywhere you go where there's a really big population of black people progressing, I guarantee you there's a interstate highway cutting right through the middle of their neighborhoods, shutting that shit down. They don't want you to prosper. And it ain't just the local government. Like I say, it's local, state, and federal government and private individuals too. They don't want you to prosper as a community. And that's what's so heartbreaking for me. They don't want you to prosper as a community. They don't give a damn about your individual. They can pick us off one at a time. We like ducks at a damn Ferris wheel at a carnival. They picking us off. And we ain't got sense enough to know that until we unite and start working in one direction, they're going to continue to pick us off. It ain't stopping. Every week, somebody black getting shot by the police. Wait, wonder what time, what day next week somebody going to be shot and where. Hopefully it won't be in San Antonio, but it's getting close. It was in New Orleans last week. Wonder where it's going to be next week. All over the country, black men are being killed by the police and they walking away. And I ain't talking about just because they're white police. It's the uniform. It ain't. I don't give a damn if they black, white, Mexican, Chinese. It was a Chinese man in George Floyd killing. It don't matter. It's the uniform. It's 18,000 different police forces, sovereign under their own right, doing their own damn thing, and nobody gives a shit about it. Nobody thinks that they can put a foot down and start putting them on the same sheet of music. That's the federal government for you. They worried about Joe Biden's damn or Hunter Biden's laptop. Some bullshit when they should be dealing with all these damn police forces that are running awry. The right to a true education of our history. The critical race theory blocking all our history. They didn't throw away so many damn books. That was just a start. It's going to wave again. It comes in waves. And each wave, they take little bit more of our culture away from us. And we don't seem to get it. We sit around and talk shit, want to kill each other, stepping on your brand new Stacy. But yet, when they do some shit to us, oh, that's just politics. We should have a jury of peers if we go to court. There's no way an all-white jury should be able to prosecute a black man in court. There's no way. The standard was set in Memphis with the release of footage and body cam tapes. I mean, New Orleans followed suit with it. We did get the tape within a few days after this incident happened. That's the way it should have been all along. What about all the other 1,000 black people killed by the police and it took years to get the footage released. And then when you got it, it was redacted. People in prison that have been put in prison under bullshit charges, you can probably say 4 out of 10 black people in jail today should not be there. 4 out of 10 should not be there because they probably put you in there on some trumped up extreme charges that some racist ass judge gave you the maximum penalty for some trivial shit. For a joint, you got 4 years. This 3-strike acts you out by the vice president was bullshit in California. We should be able to get some land as promised. America gave thousands of acres to Germans while we were still slaves. The great land grab when they were moving west, if you could stake off 20,000 acres, then that 20,000 acres was yours for $2, a penny an acre. As black people, this is my last comment. As black people, we should go back to our heritage. All this hair weave shit making these Chinese hair shops rich, get that bullshit out your hair. Stop buying this Chinese hair because all they're doing is ripping it off, getting it from India, where Indians are selling their hair because they ain't got shit to eat, and then they're making money to support their families off of their hair. And you're buying it like 40 going east. Again, you're buying things to try to make you look good, but you ain't fixing what's really wrong with you, and that's your damn attitude and your mind. Fix your mind. Quit fixing the bullshit trying to impress somebody. Like I was saying earlier, you spend all your life going through life doing these different things like buying hair, getting your nails done, getting all this shit done, and ended up dead anyway, and people forget about it. You trying to impress somebody? Stop doing all that shit. We got to go back to the basics. Go back to being natural, wearing your afro. Don't forget the black leather jacket. You got to have a black leather jacket. That's what we do. Natural hair, natural dress, and language. Learn how to speak some of your language. This is the Black News Network, the real voice of Military City, USA, bringing you the news from a Black United States perspective. We don't own the rights to the music, but we do own the rights to what we say. I am the Emissary, your broadcaster, and I broadcast live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. and every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. And I would like you to join me on another broadcast on Wednesday afternoon at 6:30, and let's talk about something funky. I don't know where that word came from, but it just came out. I tell you, like my mama used to say, when it comes up, it comes out. So thank you again for looking at the Black News Network. Go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Go to Facebook, leave a comment, leave a like, and tell me that you were here. Let me know that you're watching this show. That you may not watch it when it's on live, but you can always come back and do it anytime. This is War Smith broadcasting live from the Black News Network. Thank you so much.